It is Indabele in its graphic color scheme, with an isiXhosa name representing peace. The creative minds behind, as well as the practical hands which assembled each feature of this revolution in inner city living, are proudly South African architect Theo Kruger and his business partner André Krige.
Uxolo is the first micro-apartment building in the city center of Cape Town. And it's completely aimed at people that wants to live, play and work in the city center. The concept originated from us actually looking abroad, looking to New York, Singapore and spaces like that, and how they optimally use space and small earth sizes. We actually looked at pencil scrapers, which they use in New York and Singapore, where you've got this long buildings. But very small apartments, and that trend is definitely coming to South Africa, and we see that being the future of how to live. Yeah.
With so much of the past 2 years tied up with living and working in isolation, project manager Conrad Janse van Rensburg sees this as the perfectly social antidote.
The idea behind micro-apartments, especially in the city center, is that the city is an extension of your apartment or your house, and basically you sleep in your apartment, but you live in the city.
Maybe the best vote of confidence is that the guy who designed it chose to stay here too.
I came to live in the micro-apartment, and I've changed the way I live by actually adopting the minimalist ethos and selling a lot of stuff that I have, and just focusing on having the bare basics, and it's actually been very easy to live here.
If you're talking more balcony for your buck, the $1 million views sure make up for what you might not get in square meterage.
To design a unit that allows actually this much space, this much livability in only 23 square meters is quite a difficult task. And to do that within the space, we had to focus quite drastically on how and where we place everything. And we had to make sure that there's a spot for absolutely everything that you would need here on your day-to-day life. We had to make sure that it doesn't look cluttered. So to prevent it from being cluttered, we looked at integrated fridges, and we looked at clever ways of hiding things that generally normally clutter spaces. So anything and everything from our beds that fold away into sofas through to custom-made internal joinery fittings and cabinetry. All of that was purposely made, designed and put together here so that we know exactly how someone would use this on a day-to-day basis. We were left with the question, how do you get a unit this size up these stairs, up the lift, etc.? And there wasn't really much option. So how did we do it? We assembled them inside each room. And that's what makes this so interesting, and what makes it so fun is the fact that we carefully consider everything, crafted and put it together literally ourselves.
Whether it was hand-cut steel that was called for or fine details, pieces were innovated on site and fabricated locally or up in Joburg. As for the color scheme and glass brick, it may evoke visions of Miami, but the inspiration is 100% African.
The facade was inspired by Ndebele art and how they decorate their buildings, and also the blankets they make and the tapestry they do, and that's where the inspiration came from for the facade. We use 3 different types of face brick, and that together with the glass blocks relates to the Ndebele tapestry.
So the glass bricks, as beautiful and as interesting as they also provide natural light for us, which is something that we really needed in these small spaces.
While beautiful, the spaces are as clever and multi-purpose as a Swiss Army knife.
I think the biggest success of the project is the adaptability of being mixed use. We're using one of the units for our office. There's also commercial space downstairs, one of which is a bakery.
That is where tenants love to start their days with fresh bread and coffee every morning.
Mother Dough is sourdough. We offer probably the best sourdough community in the country. We have a 102-year-old sourdough culture. We sell the best ingredients. We give you the tools that you need to bake, and we also offer courses to teach you how to bake like a pro. And the gorgeous thing about this space is that every wall tells a story. They're what looks like the bases of wine bottles in the wall, in the plaster over there. The exposed brick, you can see the layers of how things are built. And it all just fits in beautifully with what we do. It's very unexpected to find this kind of little piece of work carp here in Long Street, and our customers love it. It's like a little hidden gem.
If the initial concept was a space for short stays, the last 18 months has turned that around.
We're quite excited for the future of urban environments in South Africa for high-density living. And we are very glad that people have chosen to accept Uxolo with such joy that it's been great for us and it's been great for the community.
So, Theo is finding his enjoyment of living here for the foreseeable future shared by people who are feeling a strong sense of belonging and finding peace in the city centre.